WL Sports, where we review all the best sports clips from around the world. Now you're probably wondering, why should I watch over here instead of anywhere else? And that's because over there, they don't care about what you have to say. They say this all the time. They talk down to us. They don't read any of the comments. But I think it's the opposite. I think we know exactly what we're talking about. So I read every single comment. So if you think what I'm saying is the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, let me know in the comments below. If you think what I'm saying is the most amazing thing, then definitely please let me know. Either way, let's get into some discussions. Let's get into some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're all really excited to be part of, and I think we're well on our way to doing it. So without further ado, let's get to it. We're watching a clip of Speak talking about who can take down the Chiefs dynasty. Now, I know I'm not going to earn a lot of Chiefs friends here. Chiefs fans friends. Chiefs fans friends? Is that a thing? Fans of the Chiefs as friends when I give my opinion on this. But I want to say at the top that I think the Chiefs are great. I think that they're a dynasty. I think Patrick Mahomes is one of the best to ever do it. Andy Reid, one of the best to ever do it. Travis Kelce, one of the best to ever do it. And I definitely think that Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are without a doubt the best quarterback coach duo. With that said, I think the Chiefs are totally beatable, and I think Patrick Mahomes is totally beatable. Patrick Mahomes does amazing things, undeniably, right? But this season especially, there was a lot of gifts given to the Chiefs that I will unpack after I hear what they have to say, and then we can go from there.
Top, and they did it once again. Dynasty talk. That's what people are saying. Dynasty is what people believe. Are the Chiefs officially a dynasty?
I've always said they're a dynasty, right? But I guess now, to everybody's standards, they got to agree with it. They got a Hall of Fame coach in Andy Reid, got a Hall of Fame wide receiver or tight end, Travis Kelce, and they got one of the GOATs of all time and a quarterback, right? And let alone Chris Jones, where he's going to end up being when he's done. So my thing is they have the pieces and they have the players and the coaches to become a dynasty. Now let's look at the resume. They've been in 6 straight AFC Championship games. That's hard to do, right? And then soon, Patrick Mahomes as a starter, they instantly win. That's what dynasty is, though. You get this piece. Once you get the piece, you start rolling. You've been a favorite every year of being either in the AFC Championship game or the Super Bowl. In the 5 years, they've been to what? They won 3 Super Bowls in 5 years? Come on. How's it not a dynasty? So I'm going to keep saying this. I think the biggest dynasty has to be Tom Brady and the Patriots, what they did. That's remarkable. 20 years and what they've accomplished. But right now, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, right, for the second best. I mean, he's still a young kid. He's not even 30 years old yet. He's still going to get better and better and better playing with this young type of team. They've won, what, 8 straight division titles? Like this is stuff that we pass over because I guess it's not sexy, right? It's not the great take to talk about, but they won 8 divisional games or divisional titles in what, 8 years? Mm-hmm. How is that a dynasty, though? So to me, I don't know. I'm going with the Chiefs. Big dynasty.
Yeah, they are officially a dynasty. There's no need for us.
Well, I just want to speak on what Shady's saying. I mean, and this is Tom Brady was able to benefit this as well, as I pointed out numerous times. I mean, the Raiders have been a disaster. The Chargers have been a disaster, and the Broncos have been a disaster. That's how you win all those divisions, okay? Just like Tom Brady was able to take advantage of the disaster of the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Jets, right? So that's not to say take anything away from it. And that's my point, is that a lot of these dynasties, I don't mean to put them in quotes because they are dynasties, whether it's Michael Jordan, the Bulls, LeBron James going to all his NBA finals for all those years, a lot of things have to happen. We've never really seen the likes of like a, of say a Michael Jordan or a LeBron James or a Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes do it when competition is just so concentrated and maximum peak, right? Where he's in a ruthless division, right? Or where, in basketball, the Eastern Conference was so weak. LeBron James just essentially had to beat the Pacers, and that was it. It's really like all he had to do. As long as he did that, you were good to go. I mean, the Sixers were nothing. Cleveland was nothing, especially when he went to Miami, obviously. He dismantled to the Toronto Raptors because he took their big guy, Bosh. So there was just like nothing there. All of the competitiveness was out west. And Michael Jordan, again, who I think is, the GOAT and amazing, but like, again, he won all his finals with other, surrounded by other Hall of Fame players. Not unlike LeBron James in that regard. So you always need all of these things to complete the picture of a dynasty. It's just like, I personally, unless you guys know, let me know, but I've never just seen a dominant run where a team is winning, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times in a row, but they're just either a juggernaut, so no one can stop them, or the competition is so tight and they're able just to find a way. Because that's not what the Patriots even were, honestly. Again, it was such a luxury for them to keep getting these first round buys, home field advantage, because when they didn't have those things, the Patriots weren't as good. Their playoff production was worse, and understandably so. And so they were able to feast off of their terrible division, just like the Eagles were able to do with Andy Reid back in, the early 2000s. The Giants were nothing, and the Cowboys were nothing, and the Washington, the Commanders, or, not what they were called back then, they were nothing. So that's how he was able to win 4 divisions in a row and go to 4 NFC Championship games. So it's just a different thing. So this season, to me, for the Chiefs, really highlighted, and in previous years, the Chiefs really imposed their will and said, this is who we are, let's go, right? So I'm not saying that was the case every single season for the Chiefs. But let's be serious here, right? The Chargers have been disarray. They can't get their head coach, and they've also dealt with injury issues, especially with, including Justin Herbert. The Broncos have been disarray. They can't get their coach or quarterback. They haven't been able to do anything outside of the few years with Peyton Manning. Okay, they've just been a complete disaster. The Raiders, it's like they're moving literal states. Derek Carr's their man. No, he's not. They get rid of him. They get this guy. No, they get that guy. They get rid of him. They hire this coach. They fire that coach. They get John Gruden. John Gruden gets fired. I mean, like, they've been a disaster. So the Chiefs, and on all the credit to them, have been able to take credit to that and feast off that, and then also continue to make moves in the playoffs. But let's not mistake that also this season, it seemed like the Browns were actually a pretty good team, but they had their quarterback injured. So now they had like an older backup quarterback who played well, but he's obviously not a young, in his prime quarterback. Joe Burrow got injured. The Raiders thought Garoppolo, I guess, was going to be their guy, and he was not. They don't have a coach now. They have, they just now hired their interim coach. The Broncos, Russell Wilson, that ends up being one of the worst deals in like NFL history. Literally, that's not my opinion. Like, that's what it ends up being. Like, one of the worst acquisitions in NFL history. Okay? So, like, that's really luck. A big amount of luck. Having the fact that the Bills are like this poorly run franchise, like the fact that they haven't gone out and gotten a true offensive head coach to help unlock Josh Allen is a tremendous amount of luck, because Josh Allen is unbelievable. And if you don't believe that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you feel that way. He's an unbelievable talent, and he's being wasted away, having his offensive coordinators be fired, and now he has to get a new offensive coordinator mid-season, having his defense decimated. And then the Ravens, it's like, what the heck were the Ravens? They were this unbelievable team throughout the whole regular season, and then their game plan going into the playoffs, specifically against the Chiefs, was just a disaster, right? They averaged 32 carries a game. They played the Chiefs, and they decided to hand the ball off 6 times. Literally 6 times. The other 10 were just kind of scrambles by Lamar Jackson, right? That's bad coaching, which the Chiefs now get to take advantage of. Now, maybe these teams will continue to be poorly run, and that is the benefit of the Chiefs, is that they are by far one of, if not the best run franchise in the NFL. So that already now helps you out big time. Not to mention, of course, you have Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce. But the truth is, really the biggest argument that I'm trying to make is that the Chiefs aren't this unstoppable juggernaut. They're just able to take advantage of the fact that they have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, of course, but that they're able to just take advantage of the weaknesses, of the lack of I don't want to say production, but the lack of I almost just want to say intelligence, honestly. I think that's probably the best word. The intelligence of the other teams as around them, as well as, injuries. I mean, because think about it. Joe Burrow's now been injured multiple seasons where he's now had to not play. The Chiefs are really lucky that Patrick Mahomes has gotten injured but never had to not play, essentially, right? He gets banged up here and there, but he's never really had to face a true injury. Justin Herbert has had to literally face a real injury where he's been down for the count. Like, those things are luck. It's not just because Patrick Mahomes works harder than everyone else. Like, that's not the case. Injury prevention is just both hard work and also a tremendous amount of luck. So again, really the biggest point is that I view the Chiefs as being able to be got. This past season highlighted that so much because we saw the injuries around the league that the Chiefs were relatively able to stay unscathed. They didn't have their version of a Greenlaw go down. They didn't have their version of a Joe Burrow going down. They didn't have their version of what the heck was the coaching plan there? What was Andy Reid thinking? What a dumb move. But you saw that with the Bills. You saw that with the Eagles. You saw that with the Cowboys. You saw that with the 49ers. You saw all those things we saw that with the Detroit Lions. And so again, that is a testament, and that the credit does belong to the Chiefs. But I think it's a combination. Sometimes a team is so great because they are just so great. And other times a team has a big gap between another team, but it's because that other team is just not good enough, right? There's a difference. Sometimes everyone's just really good, but another team is just by far better. That's not the case this past season. It was that's why the Chiefs were the 3rd seed. I mean, seriously, if you think what I'm saying is wrong, then ask yourself, why were the Chiefs the 3rd seed? Why were they not the number 1 seed? They weren't the number 1 seed for good reason. And in fact, they could have even been lower than the 3rd seed if it wasn't for some of these weird injuries and, just like poor game management by other teams. Because, I mean, they lost to the Broncos. They lost to the Raiders. They lost to the Eagles, who were a clown show this season. They're holding on by a thread every single game. So I just see the Chiefs as being very beatable. Now, previous years, I wouldn't have said that. The year that they won the year that they beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, I didn't see the Chiefs as beatable. I really didn't. They were like unstoppable force. The only, the best chance that I saw the Eagles winning was just like, you just hope that you can outduel them. And in a way, the Eagles were, obviously came very close. So it's not like the Chiefs, to me, are just this bulletproof, untouchable team. They're just not. And I know if you're a Chiefs fan, you want to believe they are. You want to say, no one can stop us. We're so good. We're this, that. And I get that. I really, really do. But if you really look closely and you can see how this season unfolded, how they played, the fact that they were kind of hanging on by a thread themselves, there's a reason why Patrick Mahomes was barking at everyone. There's a reason why Travis Kelce multiple times got in fights in the, on the bench. Like, those are typically not good looks. And they were very fortunate to be able to win this Super Bowl. They were very fortunate to get by the Bills. They were very fortunate to get by the Ravens. And they were very fortunate to get by the 49ers. That's not to take away anything from the Chiefs. The Chiefs are deserving to be the Super Bowl champions because they were essentially able to outlast the mistakes of the other teams, which that is where a lot of credit is due, and that's where a lot of games are won. In fact, I think it was, I forget which coach said this, but, they talked about how more games are, as like a coach and as a team, more games are lost than they are won, okay? That's Jimmy Johnson, I'm pretty sure, said that. That's not my opinion. That is one of the best coaches out there said that, okay? Not me. And that's what the Chiefs did the best this season, is that they lost less games than they won those games. The 49ers lost those games. The Bills lost those games. The Ravens lost those games. And again, credit to Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the Chiefs for not losing those games. So that's why, in my viewpoint, they are absolutely gettable. And I can't, and the division is going to be difficult. It's going to get more difficult. Whether it's next season or the season after, the Broncos are coming. Sean Payton is not just messing around there. They are making moves. The Chargers got Harbaugh. They are making moves. The Raiders, to me, is kind of a question mark because I don't know how good their coach is going to be, and they don't have the quarterback position necessarily set up yet either, so that'll be tricky. But I believe that the Chargers And the Broncos are no longer going to be easy wins anymore. They are coming. The Bills, I think, are going to be coming. Joe Burrow is healthy. You never know, but if Joe Burrow is healthy, they are a great team. The Cincinnati Bengals. And CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans are coming. The AFC is coming. So you have to take that into consideration as well. Also, Travis Kelce's getting older, and everyone wants to say that Patrick Mahomes is just going to keep getting better and better and better. Mentally, he's going to get better and better and better, just like it took, over a decade for Tom Brady to be able to fully understand the game and see every single coverage. But you can't count on Patrick Mahomes' athletic ability to just keep getting better and better and better. I'm not saying that he's going to be taking a downswing next season or the season after, but that will also degrade eventually as well. And it's going to be really fascinating to see what his game turns into at that point. Because we saw when Russell Wilson was a little bit more mobile, what happened. Michael Vick, Jalen Hurts was hobbled, so he was no longer as mobile. And again, I know Patrick Mahomes is better than all of those players, but that's why I am curious to see what happens. Because in football, all you do is need to lose a step. And now, instead of you escaping and doing this amazing, awesome 20-yard, sidearm throw, turns into just, a throwaway ball or a sack, right? Or a fumble. So I'm really curious to see what he turns into the older he gets, to see if he can maintain his greatness and if he changes his game to go along with his age. So I'm really interested in seeing that. But what do you guys all think? Do you think that the dynasty is just untouchable, that the Chiefs are absolutely untouchable? Or do you think they absolutely could be beaten and that they were kind of fortunate this season to actually win the Super Bowl? Would love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please don't forget to subscribe. As I said, we are building an amazing community here, and I would absolutely love to see you part of it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.